Hello everyone and welcome to my podcast Hellman Talks. Today I have a very special guest. He's a man with many talents. He's lived many different lives. He's a prince, an Olympian skier, a singer, a photographer, in other words, a legend. The person that I'm speaking to today is Hubertus von Hohenlohe.
Hello.
Hubertus, how are you?
Thank you very well, thank you.
Well, Hubertus, I'm very grateful and thankful for being here today in your home in Marbella, so thank you so much.
No, it's a pleasure.
So I know that from what we see in the media and from what we see in the outside, it looks like you're someone that's very confident and very risk averse. Where do you think this comes from and what's the secret sauce?
No, I just, when I was small, I was a little, let's say, conditioned by my father and my mother's fame and by all the glamour and all the glory that they had. So I did not only want to be always the son of somebody, and to just stand your own line and to stand your own personality, you had to do something different. And the first opportunity that I got was kind of skiing, and very, very soon, parallel to it, it came music. So I had just this wish and urge to become my own personality, not just being the son of Alfonso, the son of Ira. And that's, I guess, that is the kind of the motor and the soul behind trying to do something different and special, and the risk, even if it is sometimes not even sure if it's gonna work out, if you're gonna be successful. But in the end, in life, that doesn't matter. It matters that you listen to yourself and that you feel what there is inside and you see if there's a way to get it out.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any particular advice for someone who's maybe struggling to be a bit confident that you think that, oh, this helped me a lot?
I think that the key is to not misjudge yourself. If you listen honestly to who you are, and there is a voice there, and you give the voice some power, and then it gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And I think that is what it's all about. It's about putting your money on your own talents, on your own things that you kind of have. But there's always going to be super obstacles and super difficulties to reach your goals. So never think it's going to be easy. It's not meant to be, and it's never going to be easy. So it's about overcoming those couple of obstacles. It's a bit like when you go jogging, there's like one moment you want to stop. When you get over that, then you want to stop again, and you get over that, then you can run a marathon. That is about how you can achieve your talents in a way.
And because earlier you mentioned a couple of passions, I know that you have a lot of them. Do you have a particular, like a favorite chapter in your life, or that one that you wish a little bit more people knew about?
No, I think in the end everybody knows quite a bit about it these days with being on TV or being in media or in now also social media or YouTube with the songs or whatever. No, I just it's so. Life is so different. I mean, there is not a better moment in life than skiing when it's beautiful weather, the sun is out, you have a great course, and you feel it once with the mountain. There's nothing that tops that. But obviously, it's not all about that's the kind of the physical, the emotional part of feeling your body and the nature and yourself. Then writing songs, it's kind of interesting because you kind of portray the society that we're in, and you can give an input, and you can give a message about what's going wrong, what's going right, and which direction you go. So it's quite nice with 3 minutes to be able to tell a story. And photography, it was an accidental career. It just came along, and I managed to create my own kind of style, which 10 years later become like the thing of the moment to make selfies. But I did them already in 2000, and
you were the first one.
Well, not the first one. There was somebody called Vivian Meyer who did it in the 40s and the 50s. She did similar pictures like me, and some people did it. But in that sort of extensive way, and also the way I'm shooting the portraits, maybe I'm one of the first ones, especially this XX large portraits, like what you see behind here is like...
Is this made by you?
Yeah, it's mine. You see me there. It's called Dangerous Beauty. So it's kind of a little documentary movie put into a photograph. So basically what happens is that you kind of discover these talents, and then from there you develop and you get stronger and you get more to the point. So it's all about try and error and sticking to it.
I really like that, yeah, because sometimes it's just about trying things and learning a little bit as you go. So So you mentioned skiing. So I'm a big skier fan, but maybe not, I haven't skied as much as you. But just so that people know, you've done 6 Olympics, you've done 21 World Championships, and at 62, you were the oldest alpine skier to compete in the World Championships. So very big and important track record. So congrats for that. Do you have a particular memory that really stands out from that time?
I would say 1994. I was in Lillehammer at the Olympics, and I did a great downhill run, and then in the evening I met my wife. So the combination of private life and skiing was the strongest at Lillehammer in the Olympics, because I met my wife, and then we had a great time. And you know, the Norwegians celebrate winter sport like nobody. They're all out there. They're handsome. They're good looking. They're well dressed, and they enjoy it. And then we went to see the race, the relay race, Italy, of cross country, 4 times 10 kilometers, and in the end, Italy was fighting against Norway, and Italy won on the last second, which was a complete drama for Norway, but they were still good sports, and we had a huge party in the Casa Italia that night with all the athletes and all that. So maybe that's my highlight of my Olympic and skiing career.
Yeah, it must have been a very fun times.
Yeah, great time, and it's still nerve-wracking. Don't miss me. I mean, you're like worried. You can get injured. You can do badly. And in the Olympics, it's kind of strange because you have the feeling the whole world's looking at you, although it's not, but you have the feeling it is. And the worst is that you have the whole country. So Mexico kind of, they were all looking at me. There's like 100 million there. And they don't understand skiing. So they don't know if it's good or bad what you do. So they just ask you why you don't win the medal. And you say, I'm not Austrian or Swiss or Norwegian or Swedish or whatever. I have no chance. But they don't really get it. They think, he's only 5-6 seconds behind. He must be also standing a chance. And so you have responsibility to the country, to your flag, you're not racing for yourself. In World Cup, you just go there and you hit it. But in the Olympics, it's kind of a
special feeling.
Yeah, it's kind of a national affair, and we had nobody. We only had me always. So I was always the only one.
A lot of pressure.
The focus was always on me and saying, "Oh, aquí está otra vez el príncipe corriendo para México." So they were all like, that was kind of. But to be honest, the reason why I made so many Olympics is because I think that in the first 1 or 2, I did not enjoy it enough. I was too much kind of into the mood of doing well and to be part of it. And then I understood how cool it is to be part of it. And I said, okay, I'll have to go back and live it. It's like when you did something too young, you don't get it, what you're doing. So it's like, if you have a number 1 hit and you're as a musician and you're 21, you don't get it. And then you try all your life, you don't get it anymore. But it's over and gone, and you try to reproduce this magic,
Yeah, I feel like sometimes while it's happening, especially at a younger age, it's a bit difficult to kind of, okay, what's really happening, and take in the moment.
Totally.
Sometimes something that maybe you really get a little bit later with a little bit more experience, which
Yeah.
maybe that's what happened.
And then you treasure it much more.
And you had mentioned singing as well. So I know that singing is a very big part of your career as well. Do you have a particular show that you would be like, oh, I would love to relive this just for fun, if you could?
I think I found my voice late in life because I've done too many things. I mean, I always was singing. I always was writing good songs for other people. For me, I even did stuff for Shirley Bassey. I did stuff for other people. But lately, with this Spanish music and with this mix of crossover of flamenco, pop, some English, some Spanish, even some Mexican I'm doing now, I think I found the way of expressing myself in a special way, especially also about the society, how it is here, and I'm taking a bit, fun out of personalities and about situations. So I think it's taken me some time to get there, but I understand now that when I perform right now, maybe at concerts or parties, not big right now, but I think it really comes across and people feel it. And there's like a spark jumping over. I think actually your father saw me singing at the wedding of
Karin.
Huh?
Karin.
Yes, of Karin.
You were singing there.
Yeah, I sang there.
Was it a surprise show? Was it a surprise show?
No, he knew that I was going to sing because he's my godson, the guy. But the spark went over. I think the party was at its peak when I performed, and that means that you can transmit what you're singing. You know.
Yeah, and I feel like from the outside, it seems like a very difficult industry to get in. If there were any people that would like to get into the industry, do you have any advice for how they can do it?
These days, it's all about kind of social media, positioning yourself, and you can only be honest. You just write your songs and try to hit the nerve of what you love, and that the people love it. But you cannot. I think you cannot manipulate it. It's very difficult. I think there's so much out there. It's much more democratic, but it's also very volatile. There's too much out there, and for you to get noticed is very difficult. So. But I think you just do it and then see what happens. And where there's a way and there's a will, and then something will happen. So, and if nothing will happen, you tried it and you enjoyed it and you have it for life. Because in the end, if you really think about it, from what we are, very little remains. So what will remain is a song, remain a podcast maybe, a video, a documentary movie, I don't know, a house that you build. But there's so little that stays. So whatever you do that stays is worthwhile.
Yeah, I like that. And as you say, social media now is such a powerful tool that we have nowadays that you can just put yourself out there and try. At least it's worth trying because you never know what can happen.
Yeah.
It's better than thinking, oh, I didn't try. So
exactly. But you shouldn't be. The problem about this TikTok, for example, that the musicians are terrorized about it. So every second they have to do something. And it becomes like a slavery from this media. So it's also not so much fun to be just a slavery of a tool. It has to be kind of natural, and you have to kind of, I mean, if your songs feed TikTok, yes, you can do it. But you have to be also natural about it. You cannot force everything, you know?
Mm-hmm. And from the beginning, as we mentioned, like you've done a little bit of skiing, you've done some singing, and you've done a lot of different hobbies that you've had throughout your life. So you've reinvented yourself a lot. Do you have anything else that you would like to do that you haven't done yet?
No, honestly, no. I mean, I did a big travel show on TV that was great. I did a music show with Red Bull that I really liked. I think that I'm really good in kind of interiors and designing and all that, which yeah, I'm doing it already.
Very creative.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is my material.
Oh, nice.
Everything that you see, kind of. Yeah, I think I'm very good in kind of getting spaces into some sort of atmosphere, and I should I do it already for some people. The problem is the relationship with the owner is difficult because a style like this you can't compromise. You either
the owner of the house, you mean?
Yeah, the owner. So it's. I think the only thing that keeps me from not doing it is that you have to have. I mean, I did something in the Marbella Club, and the owner changed me the mirrors after not saying anything, and took away two of the sofas and stuff like that. And these things, they have their own vibe, the whole thing. Or if you take a piece away, it's like if you take an instrument out of a song. That is why I'm a bit reluctant to do it more. But I think I would be cool to do. I would be strong in doing that because.
Do you have a dream project in mind? Do you have a dream project in mind?
No. I don't have a dream project. But I just think. I mean, I just did now my house of my mother in Madrid. Actually, your father came, and it's different. It's kind of. I don't think there's anything like this in Madrid, and it's kind of super stylish but still funky. And in Madrid, everything is very ñoño and very comme il faut, or it's up or it's rock and roll. But to find this in between situation that you live funky but you're still stylish, it's difficult to find. And I think that's given to my roots. You know, that my family is both are very, very old. I mean, Hohenlohe was first nominated 1059, the Fürstenbergs from the 15th, 16th century. So I think in my genes and my DNA, I have a lot of things that I've lived, but I mix it with the contemporary of today.
Yeah, No, it's very good and it's very creative. And you always need someone with a little bit of a creative eye that brings a little bit of color and happiness to the room.
Yeah.
That's nice. And so you were speaking about your family. So I know that you come from a noble family. Your parents were very well known in European society. Your dad, Prince Alfonso, he was a visionary. He transformed Marbella to what it is today and founded Marbella Club.
Not today, but too much. But what it was at the
Yeah,
time, let's say.
Yeah, and we'll talk more about that. But also, just to give a bit of context, your mom, Princess Ida, she was an actress. She was a style icon, known for her elegance and for her glamour. So they were in the spotlight a lot. But I'm curious to understand, how were they at home with you?
We didn't have so much home because my mother and my father divorced very early. So we had more of our father, and we lived in the Marbella Club, and it was all very, very easy, very open. And, the wonderful thing is it was like the first all-inclusive club, if you want to call it, because you had everything from the beach to the tennis to the bar to the mini golf to whatever. You could do everything. So it was kind of paradise. But it was an uncontrolled paradise. I mean, we didn't have very much control. We had a German Schwester that was kind of taking care of us and being kind of strict. But my parents were always kind of easy and cool, and they were too busy with themselves to take too much care of us, to be very honest.
Okay. Is there something that you do think that you really admired of them, that you look up to?
Yes, I mean, my father's very, very kind of, todo terreno, all surfaces. He spoke very, very nicely with the poorest and the richest and the most famous and the unfamous, treated everybody well. He was like a relentless worker. He was always at it, on it, and always kind of pushing it forward and dreaming it. And then he had this effortless chic and charm. So I think that when things look effortless, they're great. It's like you look at the golf swing on TV and it's effortless. You think you can do it also, but it's a lot of intuitive and a lot of kind of savoir vivre to be effortless and stylish. Now everything is too chunky and too made up and too thrown into your face that we've spent money, so now you have to spend money in our restaurant, or this room is really expensive because I've spent so much money. And I think that has no style, because in the end, luxury is the biggest enemy of refinement. Refinement has nothing to do with luxury. Refinement is about the tones in between. So the problem is Marbella Club is indestructible because it's so beautiful, the gardens and the way it's the layout and all this. But I'm not happy with all they're doing with all this luxury and with all this putting materials everywhere. I think they're justifying the prices that they're asking for, and that's not style. You can ask for a lot of money. I mean, there's a hotel in Sardinia called Cala di Volpe. When you come in and you think, how much do I have to pay? You think it's going to be 150 euros and it's 1,500, but they haven't changed their style. Just kept it true to the place, which I think is the real chic.
Yeah. And so you mentioned Marbella and Marbella Club. From what I hear is that back in the day, Marbella was the place to be, that the energy was very special. It was a really fun place to be. Can you tell us a little bit how that was like?
It's a bit what I told you before. It was kind of, everything was open. There was like the movie star with the kind of desperado from Madrid that came and tried to find a rich woman, and it was a good mix, and you could survive without too much money. Now, without money, you cannot even say hello. I mean, you call for a restaurant and they ask you for your credit card before you even start eating. So it's changed a lot. It's been very, very, very cool. Like the discotheques were elegant and cool. The people were well dressed and well behaved, and there was no drugs and there was no drive-by shootings, and it was just different. Everything was super easy, and you had Audrey Hepburn and Gina Lollobrigida next to you, and then you had the guy that was just on the beach renting you the water skis, who also was partying. So now
it was a nice blend.
Yeah, so now you cannot do it, because if you go to Cipriani or to Puente Romano, you'll spend 500 euros in one night, and this is what the guy earns in 1 week, maybe, you know. So it's different.
Yeah. So, and Marbella Club, from a little bit what you mentioned, is they've hosted very special and interesting guests, like from royals to rock stars. Do you have a particular memory or a guest that stood out?
David Bowie. I mean, David Bowie, I was there the night where he wrote Heroes with my cousin that he was in, he just wasn't in love with, but he dated her. So we went to the discotheques and he like late, like 3:30. And then he came back and started to write songs in front of us. And there was this pool with the dolphins on the finish, very tacky pool, belonged to an American guy, Henry Tjarks, and he was writing, "Oh, I wish I could swim like those dolphins can swim." And he was like singing it, and it sounded like shit. I thought it was not very cool. And then he kind of sent it to us 6 months later after he produced it in Berlin with Brian Eno. And I said, "Holy moly, that sounds amazing!" And that was the same song.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was
What was different?
Well, the production was incredible. I mean, if you play it in the guitar normally, it's a simple little song, you know.
That's very good.
Yeah, we could be heroes just for one day. It's very simple. So you thought, well, it's nothing much. But then this guy put all these keyboards and all these drums, and there's this kind of narcotic atmosphere that he put into it, and it became magic.
Yeah. Is that your favorite song of David Bowie?
No, yeah, I like it, but I like a lot of them. I like Ziggy Stardust. I like China Girl, Let's Dance. I like a lot of them.
Yeah. It must have been very interesting to be around that.
It was interesting, but I was also, again, a bit the Olympic, same idea. I was so young that I did not really know what was happening. I was like, I was 22, 23, and you think, well, it's normal. You have David Bowie here, you have James Hunt there, you have all these, you know, football players and rock stars, and Michael Jackson came, and Queen and Led Zeppelin. Yeah, you could not really hang out with everybody, but you thought that was the daily life until you found out that no, it's not.
When did you find out?
Wow, when you then went to real life, you know, you found out that this is like this is the problem of Marbella. Marbella is not real life, you know. I mean, now it's a bit more real life because it has also schools and it has more kind of, it offers more variety. But at that time, people came just to have a party and they left, and when you stayed there, they left you over. You were like a leftover of the party dinner. You know, you're like the garbage that stays on the table when the party's over. And they left, and they made their own lives.
Yeah.
So the people that stayed in Marbella kind of ended up not too good. Most of them, all my kind of
Friends.
of the same age. There's a lot of people that have up their lives, and it was good that I went skiing and I did other things because that saved me from ending up here in a bad way.
Yeah, it's good also when you have a little bit of different passions, so that you meet people from other areas, and so that you're keeping yourself busy with other things.
But the most important is not to have stayed there in the 70s and 80s here the whole year, because that became kind of, now it's a bit more. Everything is it offers more. You can be healthy. You can be over there. At that time, there was no fitness clubs. There was no Paseo Marítimo you could run. It was all about waiting who's coming next to have the next party.
Yeah. I know that, conscious of time, because I know that you have a flight to take, and I'm sure that you have lots of other stories to share, because I know that you also have a book and that you also did a series with Red Bull. But when you look back at this time, is there something that you think that, oh, this is the proudest moment that I have?
It must be obviously the shows that I did, the photo shows that I did in Malaga and Sevilla and Rome. I did like museum shows with my photography, which I have here, the books, whatever. And walking in there and seeing that you with a little camera running around managed to capture something new that kind of tells the story of today and of the world, and having all these people go and see it, because we had like thousands of people, it makes you very proud. And then obviously the first time I walked in with the flag in front of Tito in Sarajevo in '84, it was like, wow, it was like a dream come true. I mean, you know, the proudest of all is that nobody ever helped me in anything. I mean, really, literally, I had to literally do everything myself in the photography world, in the music world, and whatever. It's always been from my drive that the results came, and that makes it more beautiful. If you get pushed by your father or your mother or an organization, well, then you have to share it more with them. But the good thing is that that you did it from your own kind of drive and instinct, and it kind of worked.
Yeah, you've done so many things already that when you look at what you're doing now and what's coming, are there any exciting projects that you think that would be worth sharing?
I'm doing this song about Mexico, about my Mexican ski career. That's one of my shirts.
Ski team, I see you.
Yeah. I designed also all this gear which actually this year, the World Championship, that was incredible. I felt like I was, I don't know, Ingemar Stenmark or Hermann Maya at his biggest thing. Everybody wanted to have a selfie. Everybody wanted to think. After 41 years, I was like really the big hero for all these guys. Also for the look, because the look was really cool. No, but I'm doing this, basically my ski career in Mexico was kind of first a misunderstanding. They did not really know who I was, why, and this and that. And then after 25 years, I invented this mariachi outfit where I kind of designed a mariachi singer into a ski racing suit. And from there on, they all loved me and they became famous. So now I'm doing this rap where I basically tell the story. And then I have this Cielito Lindo, this very famous Mexican song that I changed into my own lyrics. And I'm bringing out that in Mexico to kind of, again, what I said before, the kind of have something that remains forever, that this was the skiing career, which was difficult to become anybody, but I managed it, and it's going to be called the Eminem of ski.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Exciting.
Because I'm rapping, but I'm not a good rapper. I'm not such a good rapper like Eminem, obviously, but it's fun because I'm telling the story, and the only way that the how you say, the chorus jumps out from the rest is if you don't sing in the verses. So I chose to do that. So that's like my new project right now, and it's kind of being finished in the next 10 days.
Yeah. Oh, so we'll see it soonish.
Yeah. Well, the song is finished. The video, I have to do obviously something in Mexico, but I'm working on it right now. Yeah. And then I did a song about Ronda because I have a deep relationship with Ronda because it was a place where my grandmother was and my father, and we had the greatest time with my wife there. It was very romantic and easy because, it's completely different to Marbella, because in Marbella it's all about, loud music, discotheque, eating, and there it's all quiet and beautiful. And have you been?
No, but I've seen your video actually.
Yeah.
And I saw that it seemed very authentic.
It's so beautiful.
Okay, nice. That's a very nice memory.
Yeah.
Yeah. To finalize, it's been very interesting hearing a little bit about your stories, your journey, and I'm sure there's lots more that you could share, which hopefully maybe we can do a part 2 at some point.
Sure.
But so now to finalize, we have what we call the rapid questions.
Yes.
Which I don't know if you've done them before, but I'm going to ask you 5 quick questions, and then you answer the first thing that comes up to you.
Okay.
Yeah. So the first question is, what's something that made you smile this week?
My dogs.
Okay. Nice. Did they do something in particular?
No, I just see them and they look at you and they just tell you the truth,
Yeah, I know. I have a dog as well, and when I see it, it's so nice, but it's in Madrid. What's a word that describes you?
Eclectic.
Okay, very nice. What's a new skill that you would like to learn?
Playing guitar.
Okay. Are you taking lessons?
No, but I would like to. Everybody's playing, but I don't play.
Yeah. And okay, well, I know that you also speak a lot of languages. Do you have a particular language that you would like to learn?
Maybe Portuguese.
Okay, nice. It's a good one. And the final question is, what's the best advice someone has ever given to you?
Stay true to yourself.
Yeah, I like that. That's good. But yeah, I mean, it's been super interesting to speak to you today. Is there anything in particular that you think that you want to share that we haven't covered yet?
I think my motto, maybe, I should tell to everybody. I think from all what I've learned, you have to celebrate life, and then life will celebrate you.
Yeah, I like that. I like that ended. Very good. Well, thank you so much, Hubertus.
Okay.
Lovely having you here. Thank you again for hosting us in your home in Marbella.
Thank you.
And safe flight to Venice.
Good luck to your podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very good. Nice. Thank you.